Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, 4 presidential candidates debate for the first time on a network owned by embattled televangelist and Marcos supporter Apollo Quiboloy. Comelec reminds candidates to follow campaign health protocols following reports of violations. And with a tight race for the Senate, what are the candidates doing to enter the elusive Magic 12 winning circle? Senatorial candidate Antonio Trillanes joins us live. Filipinos watched for the first time a televised in-person debate featuring 4 of the presidential candidates, former presidential spokesperson and Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Ernesto Abella, Labor leader Calyodi de Guzman, former Defense Secretary Norberto Gonzales, and former Senator Bongbong Marcos faced off in Okada, Manila, in Parañaque. The debate was moderated by SMNI, the network owned by embattled televangelist Pastor Apollo Quiboloy. Meantime, with no Comelec sanctioned senatorial debates in the works, what are the senatorial candidates doing to convince Filipinos to vote for them? Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have senatorial candidate Antonio Trillanes. Senator Trillanes, welcome to the source. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Good morning, Ms. Pinky.
Okay, first, I just want to get your reaction. I'm not sure if you saw the debate that was aired yesterday. Of course, wala po dun si Vice President Leni Robredo. Do you think she should have made time? Dapat po kayang sumali siya doon sa debate kagabi?
I believe what she decided on was correct, and I don't believe that debate yesterday was a fair place for everyone. We know for a fact that Quiboloy already endorsed Bongbong Marcos and he owns the network. So you can imagine the possibility that the questions were already leaked to their preferred candidate. You cannot rule that out. So there's that.
Okay, so do you think, though, it would have been leaked?
Probably. That's the kind of game these people play. They were never known to play fair all throughout their political careers. So that's the assumption already.
Okay, I was able to watch yesterday on your Facebook account. I want to go to the Pulse Asia survey that came out very recently. Lumabas ho kayo sa Facebook sa inyong account at nagbigay po kayo 5 reasons why you said we shouldn't believe the recent Pulse Asia survey. I'll enumerate them if you don't mind, Senator. First, sabi mo,
Yes.
dismal track record. Pangalawa, sinabi nyo, flawed methodology. The third, you said that the internal survey refutes the Magdalo survey. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 4, tinawag nyo pong not real time. At number 5, it contradicts what you feel on the ground. Dadaanan ko lang po ito as fast as I could. What is the problem with this Pulse Asia survey? First of all, why did you say that hindi ho ito dapat paniwalaan dahil dismal po ang kanilang track record?
Okay. For those who can't remember what happened in 2004, ginamit ang Pulse Asia and SWS ni GMA para mag-trending, to condition the minds na mananalo si GMA. And ultimately, nandaya si GMA. And she admitted it publicly, nag-apologize siya. She was caught on tape. Ngayon, yung results ng Pulse Asia and SWS contradicted the actual results found by NAMFREL. Kaya yun, mabigat yun. Mortal sin yun sa mga survey outfits. So lumabas na ron na compromise sila, and they can be compromised. Nagpalit pa nga ng leadership yung Pulse Asia because of that fiasco. Yung SWS no, nag-apologize pa si Mahar Mangahas because of what happened, and nag-pledge siya ng papalitan nila yung kanilang field research team, ano? And that's the point, ano? Ina-outsource nila yung kanilang field research. So they cannot guarantee the integrity of what's happening on the ground. Ina-outsource lang nila, sina-subcon lang nila yun. So, yun ang problema doon.
Okay, and then you were saying that with regards to yourself,
Yeah.
in 2007, Pulse Asia, 1 week or
Yes.
so prior to the elections, placed you at number 20 in
No, number
2007.
Yes. Pulse Asia had me at number 20.
Opo.
And SWS had me at number 16. Just probably a week or so before the elections. So parang wala ka ng tsansa-tsansa. And all throughout the campaign, wala talaga kaming, hindi talaga kami pumasok sa top 12 when in fact in our internal survey, we already had my, I was already at number 11. And we were projecting, kung hindi dadayain, at number 8. So we eventually ended up number 11. And we also know during that election, say, 0 kami lahat sa Maguindanao. Ano? And some of the provinces talaga nagkadayaan. Yun yung nagiging problema. Pwede kayong makursunadahan, matarget. Depende yan. Noong panahon ni Pinoy, hindi naman ganyan yung laro ni Pinoy, hinayaan sila. Pero ngayong panahon ni Duterte, talagang ginamit din sila para to prop up the numbers of Duterte and project na parang super popular si Duterte. Of course not. Kita nyo, kaya nga hindi na tumakbo yan ng Vice President precisely because he knows he can't win. Even against Senator Soto. No? We had him at number 3 during the VP race for a very super popular, historically popular daw, sabi ng Pulse Asian SWS. So, they're feeding us garbage, and it's sad that mainstream media have been presenting their survey results as gospel truth. Yun naman ang sinasabi ko na wag naman ganoon. Pwede nyo i-qualify na historically, nagkakamali rin itong Pulse and SWS.
Okay, but would you submit, Senator Trillanes, kung sinasabi niyo nga na historically, as you were saying in 2004, no, and even for yourself in 2007, nagkaroon ng pagkakamali, would you also submit na meron din po silang tama na survey na lumabas? I mean, I think back in 2016, yes, pero tama naman po yung lumabas sa kanilang mga surveys.
Okay, ganito po, no? Ang dapat, the way they are being presented is para hindi sila nagkakamali. Yun naman ang sinasabi ko. Of course, meron sila mga tama, pero the way the media is presenting SWS and Pulse Asia results, para hindi sila nagkakamali. Noong 2010, ang sabi ng Pulse Asia, ang mananalo si Marojas by 11%. Pero nanalo si Binay. Di ba? Noong 2016, sabi ng exit polls ng SWS, si Bongbong Marcos yung panalo. Pero si Leni Robredo yung panalo. Accuracy kasi ang importante dito. At yun ang sinasabi natin, hindi sila infallible. That's what I'm saying. Yun lang naman, the way they're being
Senator,
presented.
just to put it in context, no? Kasi iba yung survey, yung pre-election surveys. Na, for example, Pulse Asia will come up with January, February, March, and April. At iba po yung exit poll. Yung exit poll, yung pinag-uusapan natin, ay ano yung naging boto mismo talaga nung botante pagkatapos niyang, pagkalabas po niya sa voting precinct.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Number 2.
Yun po. Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, sir, no? Kasi 4 pa po ito, flawed methodology. You were saying in your live yesterday that the sampling is wrong. Kasi 4 po yan. Merong NCR, merong pong Balance Luzon, may Visayas, and Mindanao. Could you briefly explain why it's a flawed methodology?
Okay. For students of quantitative research, they would know that in designing a sample for a survey, you should determine first if the sampling frame is homogeneous or heterogeneous. Yung homogeneous, ito yung pare-pareho yung voting behavior ng iba't ibang lugar. Obviously, in Luzon, Balance Luzon, iba-iba. No? If you get a sample sa Bicol, iba yan. It cannot represent the whole Balance Luzon. And conversely, yung La Union, hindi rin pwede. So kung ganyan, heterogeneous, you have to stratify further. Kukuha ka dapat ng sample sa iba't ibang lugar that is equitably distributed na corresponding to their actual percentage sa voting population. Ang ginagawa nila kasi sa Mindanao, they keep on getting samples from Davao City to represent the whole Mindanao. Kaya they end up getting a 99% approval rating ni Duterte sa Mindanao almost every single time. Kaya doon mo makikita na ano yun, that's statistically impossible.
Okay, I'll run through this. Internal survey refutes the Magdalo survey. Ako na po magsasabi nito. Sa survey ho kasi ng Pulse Asia, from 53 naging 60% si BBM. Ang sinasabi niyo po, sa inyo, sa Magdalo, from 59, bumaba po siya to 53%. Kumbaga, baliktad po yung nilabas ng Pulse Asia at inilabas po ng Magdalo. Here's a question, sir. Why should the public, what is the methodology and why should the public trust the Magdalo survey, knowing that you are associated with the candidacy? You are supporting Vice President Leni Robredo.
Okay. Well, itong survey namin is only for internal consumption. I was only forced to bring it up kasi nga gusto kong basagin yung propaganda nitong Pulse Asia. Hindi pwedeng ganyan, no? At yung sa amin, talagang kung mababa si VP o mataas si Bongbong, pinipresent namin. Even sa camp nila VP, 59 si Bongbong nung November. Sabi ko, ganun talaga eh. Di ba? Pero bumaba siya. Iba kasi, those who are analyzing surveys, hindi importante or it's not as important yung results ngayon. Mas importante yung trajectory. Saan ba siya nanggaling? Tumaas ba siya o bumaba? Para malalaman mo if your interventions are okay, kung yung interventions mo kulang or mali, no? Or you need to do more. Yung kay VP, tumataas siya consistently from 7% to 16% to 22%. So ibig sabihin nun, yung interventions sila nagkakaroon ng magandang effect on the ground.
It's bearing fruit and then not real time. Yung sinabi niyo po that there's one thing that was quite interesting for me when you said not real time. This was conducted January 19 to 24. If you look at the Pulse Asia survey, nakasulat naman po doon lahat ng events that happened. And in fact, it was submitted there that it was the time that there was a surge up to about 39,000 in January 15. And then sinabi pa po that by January 19 to 24, tapos na po yung kanilang survey, no? Yung ginawa, that survey that they conducted. Point that you were trying to make, sir. It was the height of Omicron. At ang tanong niyo po, meron bang mga tao na magpapapasok sa inyo, papayag po ba yung publiko na papasukin ng isang magsusurvey at the height of Omicron? That was your point, right?
Yes. And yun po, no? Kasi we were supposed to schedule our own survey during the 3rd week on 4th week of January. Kaso nga, imposible. The conditions then were so impossible for the team, for the protection of the team, and yung travel restrictions, hindi ka talaga makagalaw. Kaya I'm questioning that. Baka nagtawag-tawag lang yan sa mga past respondents nila. Yun ang problema dyan.
Okay. And then the fifth one is it contradicts what you actually feel on the ground. Here's the thing, Senator. The camp of VP Leni and Kiko Pangilinan, the camp of Bongbong Marcos and Sara Duterte, the camp of Pacquiao, Lito Atienza, Isko Moreno, Doc Willie, Ping Lacson, and Senator Soto would probably say the same thing. Ang init ng pagtanggap sa akin ng mga tao. Ang hirap paniulaan na ganyan lang ako dito sa survey na to. The point being, it becomes very subjective. Ito pong, it contradicts what is actually happening on the ground. How do you explain that?
Okay, merong yung Magdalo kasi, we have 200 chapters all over the country. Ginagamit namin ito na sounding board. It may be anecdotal, pero ito yung ginagamit namin to informally validate or invalidate yung surveys. no? Ngayon, we have been at it since 2010, no? Nakita namin yung feedback ng mga chapters namin on the ground, nung kay Pinoy, nararamdaman yung conversions, yung enthusiasm ng mga supporters. Then noong 2016, ganyan din, naramdaman namin yung pag-angat ng mga suporta kay Duterte, no? So, meron kaming nagiging basis. Hindi lang ito parang kwentuhan ng mga pinsan mo kunyari sa probinsya o what. No. Hindi. We have sounding boards all over the country. Yun naman po ang sinasabi ko in comparison to the two recent presidential elections na nangyari.
Okay. Senator Trillanes, we need to take a very short break. The Source will be right back. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our guest today, Senatorial candidate Antonio Sonny Trillanes. Sir, yung pong dahil you identified 5 reasons, ano po, do you plan to take any action regarding these siguro firms that you have mentioned, SWS and Pulse Asia? I bring that up because I also read that sometime in 2010, si Bagong Bayan Party presidential bet, Senator Gordon, filed a case against SWS and Pulse Asia because sabi niya po, they refused to disclose the details of their procedures, only indicating sample size and margin error, which is really plus minus 2%. And he goes on to say, without the regard to the Fair Election Practices Act and the Code of Professional Standards and Ethical Practices. Yun po sinabi niya. But in an interview, I believe, very recently, sinabi ni Ronald Holmes, nag-decide na po ang Supreme Court in the past that it is unconstitutional naman to ban the publication of surveys. There's an SC decision that binds us, the polling organizations, to be transparent about our questions and whether we are conducting commissioned surveys. So back to my question, what do you plan to do about this, if any at all?
Okay, I'm not going to that extent na ipapaban ko sila. No? Of course, I agree with that na you can publish whatever results you want. Pero yung mainstream media, dapat nilalagay naman sa context. What they do in CNN International is yung kanila poll of polls. So, ina-average nila yung mga So, tapos tinatanggal nila yung mga extreme. Kaya meron silang more or less average of the different mga pollsters. Dito, pag naglabas yung Pulse Asia, parang propaganda tool di ba? Imagine mo, if one of these unscrupulous politicians would find a way to get into the operations of Pulse Asia, which is highly possible, hindi mo pwedeng i-rule out yan kasi ina-outsource nga nila yung kanilang fieldwork. And even yung mga tao nila on the ground, kung lapitan niya ng mga operators, very vulnerable. So yun din mako-consider ng mainstream media.
Sa inyo ho ba sa Magdalon na ginagawa niyong survey, you do not out-commission these field workers?
No, we have trained researchers. They have been doing this since 2007. Kaya yun naman yung namin na alam namin na hindi ito dinadaya kasi pang internal consumption namin. We use it for strategizing purposes. Para alam namin kung saan namin kailangan buhusan pa yung aming campaign na operations pag mahina kami sa certain area o kung malakas. So, ganun.
Okay, so just also to be fair, CNN Philippines will be reaching out to Pulse Asia and SWS also for their comment on this issue. I want to move on to you now, Senator Trillanes. Dito po sa recent survey, if I'm not mistaken, you're standing in the recent Pulse Asia survey. You were ranked at 17 to 19. Kayo po, meron ho ba kayong internal survey sa inyo? Does it complement this recent Pulse Asia survey on senatorial candidates?
Let's just say that we have an upward trajectory since I filed my certificate of candidacy in October. Yun na lang po muna ang sasabihin natin. Pero kita nyo yan dyan. Even in their results sa Senate, they had me at 27% nung nung December survey nila, then a month after, 17%. Parang hindi nangyari yan, ano? Even yung mga international pollsters, walang ganyang yung up and down na resulta. Dito mo lang makikita yan sa Pulse Asian SWS. Dahil nga nagbabago-bago sila ng kunyari, let's say in Visayas, they would use in this survey Tacloban to represent the whole Visayas. Then next survey Cebu naman. Ngayon, kung maganda yung resulta mo sa Cebu, di mapaproject yun, may elevate ka. Yung mahina naman, di bababa yan. Ngayon, sa Mindanao, they keep on getting Davao as the sample to represent Mindanao. Talagang wala sila makikitang boto namin doon kasi since Duterte won, talaga mahina kami sa Davao.
Okay.
Kaya yun ang flawed nila. Methodology.
Yeah, that's something we really need to ask also SWS and Pulse Asia, the points that you raised, no, sir. But going back to you, no, so top 12, do you feel this is a tough election this coming May to actually make it to the winning 12? Parang ang dami din po kasing bumabalik at meron din pong mga kilala na katulad ni Raffy Tulfo na number 1 ngayon. How difficult is this race for you?
Lahat ng elections po mahirap, ano? Pero ang pinakamahirap talaga noong 2007 nung nakakulong ako, wala pong pondo, nothing. But we eventually won. It's just a matter of reaching out to as many people as you can, winning their hearts and minds. Yan po ang challenge sa bawat kandidato. And but ang nakikita natin dito, at some point the Filipinos alam nila kung sino yung mapagkakatiwalaan nila, sino yung ipaglalaban yung interest nila, and we're relying or putting our faith in the hands of the Filipino people.
Kayo ho ba, Senator, do you believe in what we are seeing? And it's happened in the past naman po, yung meron pong common candidates. May common candidates, basta ang usapan natin, hindi kayo mag-e-endorse.
Well, yung mga kasi dito, no, some traditional politicians, they rely on name recall. So ginagawa nila yan. Pero kaya pabor sa kanila. But it also shows kung anong klaseng sila, no? Legislator, public servant, kanino ba? Sino ba yung itinutulok mo para sa ating bansa? Hindi man pwedeng wala kang tinutulak. Hindi pwede yun kasi meron mga kandidato na ikasasama ng ating bayan. So, what are you doing about it? Ngayon, ito naman yung regarding do sa earlier question nyo. We have seen elections in the Senate na yung mga number 1 or number 2 sa surveys ended up losing. And yung mga nasa number 17, yan sila Senator Grace Bo, sina Joel Villanueva, they ended up being 1 and 2, no? So lots of things can still happen in the course of the 90-day campaign.
Opo, and to which of course there are still 82 or 83 days left, ano? So I just need to take another short break. I want to ask you your priority bills in case you win in the Senate again. We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. We're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our guest today, Senatorial candidate Antonio Trillanes. Sir, if you win, bumalik po kayo sa Senado, ano ho ang inyong unang bill na ifa-file?
Kung papalarin po tayo manalo sa Senado at kung papalarin din pong manalo si VP Leni sa pagka-presidente, we will support yung kanyang economic stimulus package to revive the economy after the pandemic. Ito po, it's a comprehensive package na magbibigay ng grants and subsidies sa maliliit na negosyo at yung mga affected sectors like tourism, agriculture, and magbibigay din siya ng ayuda dun sa pamilya para yun nga maka-generate ng trabaho at ma-simulate yung economy. We need to have that passed within the first 100 days of the new administration. Ngayon, yung on my end, yung personal advocacy ko, anti-corruption, I'm going to push for the mandatory video recording and live streaming of all public biddings in all government agencies. And itong recordings na ito can be used in the administrative and criminal proceedings. Yan, mapafurnishan yung copies automatically, yung COA, Ombudsman, and yung national government for safekeeping. Yan, pag nangyari yan, it will remove mid-level bureaucratic corruption.
I see. Okay. And I also wanted to find out from you, I'm sure somehow you were following the hearings on Farmally, yung pong nangyari sa DOH, DBM, etc. Kayo ba sabihin natin na magkaroon ng pagkakataon, manalo ho kayo, gusto niyo ba balikan itong hearing na to on Farmally?
Well, definitely, no? Farmally among others. In fact, kung tayo papala rin, sisikapin natin na makuha yung Blue Ribbon Committee dahil maraming mga incidents of corruption na napagtakpan dito sa panahon ni Duterte. At alam nyo, halos lahat ng ehensya ng gobyerno ngayon may sindikato. And we will have to expose them and break up that corruption syndicate.
So you would want to chair the Blue Ribbon Committee sakaling manalo po kayo?
Opo. Yes,
okay.
Dahil importante po na yung ating pondo ng gobyerno ay hindi napupunta sa bulsa ng ilan.
Last question, sir. Are there any laws you feel that need to be amended sakaling manalo po kayo?
Well, yung i-revisit po natin yung CPD law that I passed. Actually, more on the IRR na lang ito kasi yung mga points na required for professionals to get their CPD accreditation, binigayan, dinelegate yan sa PRC, sa PRB. Yung iba natataasan, so pwede naman ibabayan, and for OFWs, pwede naman silang waive, and to make the programs more accessible and affordable. Yung mga public schools, pwede silang mag-conduct ng free CPD training programs within the confines of their public schools. So yung mga ganun po, i-amend natin.
All right, Senator Antonio Trillanes, sir, thank you and good luck to you.
Thank you, Ms. Pinky.
And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.